Good evening, everyone. Sorry. Don't hurt me. You could see. Oh, excuse me. We are gathered here today, surrounded by love and tranquility, by to watch as traditions and rituals, both old and new, are carried forward. Excuse me. When Rob and Lindsay first bought this property a few years back, we immediately told them that we thought this would make a great venue for a wedding. Excuse me. In fact, recently Lindsay just told me that the prior owners actually got married here themselves. So I think that now is a more appropriate time than ever to tell you, I told you so. Friends and family, you have come here from near and far to offer your love and support to their union. Over the years, you have had the privilege of loving them and watching them grow up. You have supported them through years of rigorous schooling. You have been there through the darkness and the light, the fire and the ice. And for this, sorry. It's hard when you know them. And for this, you have been bestowed the most important gift of sharing this day with them as they become husband and wife. For this, Robert and Lindsay, thank you for your blessing, encouragement, and lifelong support. They also remember the loved ones who cannot be here to share this moment. Rob and Lindsay, marriage is the promise between two people who love each other, who trust that love, who honor one another as individuals in that togetherness, and who wish to spend the rest of their lives together. It enables the two separate souls to share all of their dreams, fears, and memories. Marriage is about weathering highs and lows and to help each other through all of the uncertainties of life. A strong marriage also nurtures each of you as separate individuals and allows you to maintain your unique, quirky, and identity and grow in your own way through the years ahead. To help each other continue to bring out the best version of one another in a safe haven. Marriage is a journey, an evolution of love and self. It is about finding that person who will lift you up when you fall, catch you when you stumble, protect you when you are scared, and find you when, you feel lost. You are adding to your life not only the affection of each other, but also the companionship and blessing of a deep trust. You are agreeing to share strength, responsibilities, and love. It takes more than love to make this relationship work. It takes patience and compromise, courage and strength. It takes trust to know in your hearts that you only want the best for each other. They agree. It takes dedication to stay open to one another, to learn and grow even when it's difficult to do so. And it takes faith to go forward together without knowing what the future holds for you both. Rob and Lindsay, now it is your turn to share the promises you vowed to make to one another, starting with Mr.
So, mine may be a little long. The first time I saw you, you'd come from an evening class to meet us for dinner at Farmers, Fishers, and Bakers in Washington, D.C. One of the first things to strike me was your smile. It was, is, and will continue to be the most gorgeous sight I've ever seen. We talked about a reproductive endocrinologist and some criminal stuff relating to that. And from the moment we spoke, I realized that there was something special about you. We bandied words with each other like we'd known each other for years. One day you called me when you weren't feeling well and wanted help getting through the ER a little quicker. I like being helpful, and I look forward to getting to spend the time with you. We sat in the ER for a few hours talking, the time flew by. I would have happily waited throughout the entire night. When the nurse went to start an IV and draw blood, I saw my opportunity. So I said, hey, why don't you hold my hand while you're getting an IV? And you politely declined. It wasn't your first rodeo with venipuncture, so I persisted, and I said, come on, nobody likes getting stuck with a catheter. And it'll make you feel better. And you agreed, and I think both of us blushed. In that instance, I realized I wanted to spend as much time with you as I possibly could. Later in the year, my friend Joey and his wife Giselle came to town. We'd planned to ride out into Shenandoah Valley and drive across Skyline Drive together. Joey, you sat next to me up front. Giselle was in the back with you. And I'm surprised that we stayed on the road. I don't think our eyes left each other in the rearview mirror for more than 10 seconds. No offense to Joey, but it was really the first time in my relationship with him as one of my closest friends that I really didn't want to sit next to him. As we became friends and more, every time I saw you, it brightened my day. You always had the most interesting things to talk about, whether it was the topic of a book that you had read, what you had learned that day at GW, or your opinion on just something topical. You have a voice and a mind that I love to hear. We had the same sense of humor. We were both quick-witted and both loved each other's company. We both loved to make each other laugh, and I'd do damn near anything to get a snort out of you. As the year in D.C. progressed, I very quickly fell madly in love with you. Prior to us meeting, I didn't really think I'd ever experience the true love that my parents described to me. Of meeting somebody and knowing that they're the one. I wasn't sure it existed, or if it did, I just didn't expect it to happen to me. After falling in love with you, I understood, and I suddenly couldn't imagine a life that didn't include you. You kindled a fire in my heart that burns brighter with each passing day. I can be myself completely with you. You love me for who I am, warts and all. We have our little inside jokes, the silly noises we make around each other, the voices for the animals. We encourage each other and share in the excitement of our hobbies and pastimes. You share in my excitement of the plants, bugs, and random things I find in the yard, and mine in your excitement about the yarn, cardstock, sale aisle, and sticker selection at Michael's. I love hearing about your day. I love hearing about the conversations at work. I love hearing about your scrapbooking, your crocheting, your cricket. I love hearing about your true crime shows, even if from time to time they scare me. I love sitting on the couch, watching goofy television together, judging tattoos that we'll never get on Ink Master, or laughing at a unicorn cake turned into soup on Nailed It. I love spending time in our yard together and seeing the marigold that you plant turn into flowers. I'm constantly impressed with how brave you are to continually expand your area of comfort in the yard without your snake boots. All of this is to say I love spending time with you any way I can. I'm so incredibly lucky to have met you. I'm so lucky that we got the chance to fall in love. You're the most beautiful, smart, brilliant, gorgeous, empathetic, and caring individual I've ever met, and you're my best friend. I vow to make your happiness a priority. When you're having a bad day, I'll try to make you smile or laugh, and if I can't, I'll hold you and be there for you. I vow to make sure we get you to Michael's regularly. I love the crafts that you make. I want to make sure you're always well stocked on stickers and yarn. I vow to be your partner in this life, and to always put our relationship first. As it has over the past few years, life will throw plenty of unanticipated issues and problems our way. But you're my source of strength, and I'll always be yours. I vow to always be available to catch any spiders, frogs, or snakes that make their way into the house. I'll try not to examine them or videotape them for too long, just long enough to get a video to send to somebody. I vow to appreciate and cherish you, and to let you know in some way, shape, or form every day how special and important you are and how much you mean to me. I vow to make you the sunny side up eggs that you like whenever you want them. I vow to always express my gratitude for all the ways you make me smile, make me love, and make my life easier. From helping me find my keys, to making me laugh or smile even when I don't want to, I'll always make sure you know how much you're valued and appreciated. I vow to buy you Portillo's whenever you want, but particularly after you spend the day helping my parents with identity theft, so that's about once a month. So, I vow to always be open and honest. You're my confidant, and I'll never hide anything from you. I vow to always carry you to bed when you fall asleep on the couch, even when I'm old and decrepit. I vow to love you completely. Forever, with all my heart and soul, all the bits, for as long as I live, in sickness and in health. I'm so lucky to be marrying you, and I'm so excited to be able to call you my wife. Thank you for being you. Thank you for flowing. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for making me a better person. Thank you for making a home in each other. I love everything about you. I'm yours forever and always.
We did it! Finally! We did it!
That's my girl.
It only took us 4 years, but we did do it!
Better late than never.
We made it all this way together. We made it through so many laughs and so much fun. So many fun times together, and through so many tough times as well. I can't wait to start our next chapter together, where we can experience even more of what life has to offer, side by side. When I was finishing school in DC and you had to leave work to start in Florida, you sent me many thoughtful gifts. You sent me a Roomba because you knew I was a domestic homekeeper already, and you sent me lots of plane tickets that had no self-interest whatsoever, I'm sure. And you sent me many, many flowers. You always included a kind and thoughtful note with your flowers, forever linking your expressions of your incredible love for me to the beautiful expression of that love. The flowers of all shapes and sizes and colors remind me of you and of us. Maybe that's why I so excitedly filled our whole house with flowers, and you so excitedly filled our whole yard with flowers. In one of the early bouquets, there was a bunch of status, which I assembled into a memento box, and we now have hung in our home. It's from one of the very first bouquets that you ever bought me. The thing about status is that it never, ever loses its color. You've told me many times on hard days for either one of us that we could drop out if things go sideways in law or medicine, and we could start a status farm. But I think I probably have enough farming on my hands already. Status never loses its color, and to this day, the bundles that you sent me fresh years ago are dried but still as vibrant and beautiful as ever, though they've been through moves and transitions and many different spots on the wall. When we got our happy little yard, it was one of the first things we planted together. And now it didn't always grow exactly as we intended it to, but it never failed to teach us more about growing. It never failed to teach us more about working together to grow something together. And each time we tried, we got a bit better at it, and we never stopped trying. The more we've grown together, the more I come to realize the thing about learning another person is that it's never a finished process. We're never finished getting to know each other, and that makes it so, so special. We've seen firsthand that the flowers that we planted and then we left to their own devices quickly got overgrown with weeds and were abandoned, and it needed major work. And we learned from that. And what we've learned is when we've seen flower beds that we planted and tended to consistently, where we pulled the weeds and we regularly watered and we stood side by side to admire the beautiful results of our hard work, those flowers grew and grew and grew. In doing this process together, it's not only brought us closer together, but it showed us both, I think, firsthand the importance of tending to our own flowers planted in our yard and in the relationship. There's always more to learn, and there is no one I would rather learn with. Both of us have spent a lot of years learning, from profession to skills to trivia-like facts that amuse no one else but each other. But you never shied away from trying new things, and that's something I really admire about you. Even though I'm not exactly the adventurous type, I always admire your willingness to put yourself out there, to do the hard work to get what you want. You never hesitate to get your hands right in the dirt and do exactly what you need to do to get where you want to be. You never hesitate to put in hard work to get something beautiful, and you never give up. You really are one of a kind. Since the days in DC, we've preserved many bundles of status, and though it has changed throughout time, just like the two of us, it is always as beautiful as the day it blossomed. I'm so grateful for you and for the life we've created, and for the life I know we will continue to create together. What we have is truly special, and I'm so lucky to get to spend my life with you. I vow to only bring home 3 to 4 new dogs.
That's it. I got all this space.
And this is why I do it. I vow to call you every time there's a lizard in the house, even when I'm brave enough to catch it myself. I vow to always try to make you laugh, successfully or not, and I vow to always tend to our garden. I vow to always stick by your side, even if the garden gets dirty or the rain starts rolling in. And I always try to get those participation points, even when I don't really want to touch the gross thing myself. I vow to always express my gratefulness for the life we've created, and I vow to always be your biggest cheerleader. Always and forever, I love you, and I love everything about you.
Do you guys know who was which? Yes. Oh, good job. All right. Thank you. Yep. Okay. I can hold them if you want. Yep. Okay. All right. Your wedding ring is a symbol of your promise to one another. The ring, an unbroken, never-ending circle, is a symbol of committed, unending love. Rob, you're going to go first. As you place this ring on Lindsay's finger, repeat these words after me. This ring symbolizes my love for you and the commitments we made today.
This ring symbolizes my love for you and the commitments that we've made today. Okay, Lindsay.
As you place this ring on Rob's finger, repeat these words after me. This ring symbolizes my love for you and the commitments we made today.
This ring symbolizes the love I have for you and the commitment we made today. I'm so excited. I'm sorry.
All right. Okay. All right. The final act of this ceremony is breaking of the glass. The breaking of the glass reminds us that just like the glass is fragile, so are human relationships. Once the glass is broken, it can never go back to what it was. If you break your marriage vows, your relationship can also never go back to what it was. As you break this glass today, you will find it's going to take a conscious effort. May your bond of love be as difficult to break as it would be to put back together these pieces of glass. Mazel tov!
You want to get a step? You don't want to step on the glass?
I think you have to. Rob and Lindsey, you have come here today of your own free will and in the presence of family and friends have declared your love and commitment to each other. You have given and received a ring as a symbol of your promises. By the power of your love and commitment to each other, by the power vested in me, by this great state of Florida, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss your bride. It is my pleasure to introduce you for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Robert Grossman.